All right, everybody, welcome back again. This is an episode that's got a lot of virile content in it, and I am excited because Mike is going to get to talk about his boy quite a bit, so we're going to just hop right into it.
Okay, so this episode is called Eat Up Everyone. Trying to do her part in Team Gurren, Nia decides to become a cook, but just before the crew have a taste of her dishes, Saitamander, the fourth member of the Divine Generals, launches an aerial attack on the Gurren. Simon leads a counterattack on the Gurren Lagann, this time accompanied by Yoko, who replaces a sick Rosyu. We'll get to the payoff to Rosyu's absence in a minute. But first, I think it's really adorable that Neo wants to be more involved in the team.
Yes.
And that her inspiration comes from Simon's stomach growling, and Yoko being like, being the mom that she is.
Yep. Exactly.
Like, you need to eat or else we're all dead, basically.
Yeah, just to pull him away by his ear. Hope I wasn't interrupting anything. I'm going to borrow him for a while.
And Nia's like, yes, this is my calling.
She's so cute. I can't get out, man. Her voice is just the best. Can't be mad at her.
Yeah, it's impossible. And then once again, the guys are like, Nia, you're the best. I can't wait for your cooking.
Get that palace treatment. Oh yeah. This was we're gonna come up on something when we get to it that I want to say it was 2 or 3 episodes ago, where the first time that Adine attacks and Viral retreats, or Viral helps her when she gets her backside kicked, that Viral just yelled at Gurren. He did not yell at Rosyu. He yelled at Gurren. And it's one of my favorite delivery and storylines in this entire show. And I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to let Mike talk about it.
So, okay, we are at episode 13, correct?
Yes, we are episode 13.
Kamina died in episode 8.
Yes.
Got to make sure my math is right.
Your math is correct.
That means that we have gone 5 episodes and Viral hasn't figured out that Kamina is no longer on this earth.
Yep.
It's weird. They kind of play it off for jokes until Simon, gets serious for a minute and be like, dude, he's not here anymore. And I think this is interesting because now this is like the first episode where Simon and Viral start to kind of develop their own relationship.
Yep.
And this is also when Viral starts to be more. He really gets put in his place.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly. It's like, and it blew my mind the first time he was just like, "Where is he? I've been losing to a child this entire time. Where is he?" And I'm just like, there's never been an option like after that where he actually had to fight Simone. I was like, oh yeah, he never did. He was always just there to get everybody's asses out of the fire, and he never got to see it because he didn't have access to cameras or nothing like that. That was all Genome and the Generals. I was like, he's that out of the loop that he doesn't know Cam and his dad. I don't know if anyone does, because you never see them outside of that. Because it's like you never fight them outside of their gunmen, other than when they were captured, and they were never like, "Where's Kamina?" But yeah, he gets put in his place. But that is one of my favorite endings of an episode they ever have, because it's the very first time where they're like, "We have a plot, by the way." And yeah, but you. One thing before we forget it, which I think is a really great moment, is the first time that Yoko ever steps into Gurren. Ever.
Yeah, she sees like the. I'm just gonna call it communist like emblem.
Yeah.
By the way, I want a shirt with that logo.
There's plenty of them, buddy. Go to T Public or what was the other one I was looking at last night? It's T Public or
Redbubble.
Redbubble. That was it. Yep. There's a ton of them because I only have a few, and it made me want to buy more.
Yeah, I need to have I need to have a shirt with that logo.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yoko sits in Gurren for the first time, and she sees that, and also Buddha's with her because you need to have Buddha.
Yeah, emotional support. Like, I got you. I'm not doing much. I just considered your cleavage, but I got you. Oh yeah.
And it's nice that since Kamen is gone, Simone's had the opportunity to collaborate more with like the rest of the team.
Yes.
Between fighting with Rossio, piloting Lagann with Nia.
Yep.
And now this.
It's awesome.
Also, their exchange at the end was wholesome.
Yeah, it's just like, and I always was like, how did that conversation never come up until now? That was just one of those things where it's like she finally had to ask, and she's just like, he's in the right place, and it's just like that, and I'm just like, yeah. I wonder if for her she kind of goes, probably should have talked about that sooner, but it's just like, well, yeah, and it's just basically it got to the point for me where like all discussions that ever needed to be had are off the plate finally. Like the meter's empty.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of wholesome moments and a lot of good action still that we haven't quite gotten to yet, but
we can dive in there now.
Yeah. So we figure out that we can't fight them. What did we do when we didn't have downward facing missiles in Gurren? Or I'm sorry, in the Gurren. Just start throwing them outside. What do we do when we can't reach the enemy? We throw Gurren Lagann up in the air at him. I don't know if this is a good idea. It's gonna work, trust me. Where it gets to him Spider-Manning with drills through the jets to the point of where they just integrate a gunman because they're like, hey, this pop-up happened. What will this work? You seeing this? Let's see if we can integrate that thing. And they just steal a gunman from that thing and it just falls away. I'm like, don't ask. Just don't ask questions. Just don't ask questions.
Yeah, that's I was gonna get to that where pretty much every episode has had like they see a problem, they find a solution.
Yep. And it makes sense in their own little world too to be true. They've made it known that Gurren has a capability of what I want to say, integrating or taking things over. So you can't. This is the point where it's like, yeah, that looks dumb, but I'm like, that makes sense in their world and the rules they've set up. That's fully possible. They just took a hat from like Viral and then it changed colors and flipped onto their head the second it made contact. He literally jacked an entire ship just by drilling into it. Like at this point, stealing wings was kind of small potatoes.
Yeah, compared to compared to commandeering the Gurren.
Yes, it's and I have to ask now that no, I take that back. We've only seen 3 of them. Out of all of the main big ships, you've got to see the Gurren, the Daigunkai, and now the Daigunten before we get too far into that fight with them and we get to Viral. Which one of them do you like the most so far?
I kind of like this one, the Dai Gunton.
Gunton, yep.
Yeah, the Dai Gunton. Mostly because of the, I guess like the core where Simone and Viral end up.
Nice.
Just from a design perspective, I love like the purple white lighing in there. It looks so cool.
Yes. Yeah.
And their fight scene in there is pretty amazing.
Yeah. They finally, like, this is the one episode where it's like, I was so happy that you liked Viral beforehand, because this is the one episode where people like really, really start to like Viral, where it's like, he's like, let's fight. Before he even asks him to fight, he's, what is your name? I need to know what your name is. And he told Simon, he's like, all right, get in your freaking mech, and then we're going to go fight. We're going to do this honorably. I'm just like, none of you act like this. None of you at all. And he's supposed to be your peon, and he actually wants to fight properly. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I've known for a while that Viral is going to be my favorite, because he doesn't even look like a beastman outside of like what, fangs
and you barely get to see his paws, but yeah,
he's the most human of the rest of the beastmen.
Yeah.
And like you said, he has an honor code.
Yeah. I was irritated just slightly during this fight, I have to say. Well, the fight is awesome. We can't discount that the fight's not awesome. But I was irritated for about 2 seconds that they turned Yoko into a damsel in distress. But I was just like, it gets taken for 10 seconds. It's fine. It was more of a fact that she was human versus she was a woman, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Even with a rifle, with a giant, basically trident stuck to her cheek, I was like, okay, I get it. It sucks, but I get it.
Yeah, so far only Mia like gets to be the designated damsel in distress.
Yeah. But speaking of his honor code, probably one of the coolest moments in the entire first season is when he just won't fight when they take Yoko hostage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because when what's his name, like Saitomander?
I call him Saitomander, but the way that they pronounce things, I've never sure, because a lot of times they pronounce it like Sitomandre. I was like, wouldn't it end in another E? But it's Saitomander or Saitomandre. Either way, it's different.
Okay, yeah. So once he says like, you idiot, finish the job, and Viral's like, no, we're not doing it that way.
Yeah.
This is like the episode where everyone can pretty much agree, like, sure, Viral may not be a threat anymore on the level of the generals, but at least he has the honor code, and at least he like values the fight, and it isn't just, I want to destroy my enemies.
Yeah, it's nice and refreshing, because he gets to be an incidental hero in certain situations, to where it's like, I'm not helping you if we're going to do this stupidly. And I'm still a dick, and I'm evil, and I want to chop his head off, but I'm going to do it with some decorum, damn it. Mm-hmm. And they get interrupted. This was the moment where I was like, God damn it, there's nothing too stupid this show can't fucking do. And they're like, we need to fire at them. They're in the belly of the beast. We can't back them up. We need to get our asses up there. And then Leron just, okay. And then it cuts way back to the fight. And all of a sudden it comes back and I'm like, well, what the hell are they gonna... Okay, that looks like a ramp. Oh, God. So they just take off fucking sprinting up the mountain and fucking hurricane kick the Diguntin. And they don't even do it fast. They're like, we barely missed it. Turn her again! Spin around and hit the fucker one more time.
I love Team Gurren.
It doesn't matter what they need to do. Just, we're going to kick its ass and we're going to get it out of the way. Oh, man. It's like you said last time. They find a solution to the problem.
Yeah, there's a problem, they find a solution. Exactly. No matter how stupid the solution is, it's still a solution.
And they always end up better off with it now, because now they have a literal Levisphere stolen from the Diguntin, which you get to see what they might do with later on. But, God. I forgot every time I watch this, I forget exactly how slow that kick is. Where it's just like, thankfully their ship doesn't move that fast, because you can see the 0G just... Oh, shit. At the speed of light, they pull the second kick off until they're about to hit and then slow down. It's anime and Street Fighter. It's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. But, yeah, it's something else.
But, there's a couple things before we wrap this one up. One, I have to bring up the payoff to Rocio's absence.
Yep.
So remember when we said that Nia's job is to be the cook? Well, about that.
She's really good at her job. Oh, good old poor Rocio had a wee bit of food poisoning because he's too nice of a person. And of course, the only people that like her cooking had to be Buta and Simone.
I would just chalk that up to Simone is so hungry he can't taste anything.
Well, that too. That is a good way to put it. But
we've all been there before. We're so hungry we'll eat like the worst garbage ever. But because we haven't eaten in a day, it just tastes that much better.
It does. It tastes better than food you like at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It just and I don't think Nia's ever looked cuter than what she looks like she's cooking up all that food. Just the scene of her slaving away in there is just like, it's almost ready. It's just, every scene they have with her is just the best. She does so little and it does so much. It's just, she's so good.
The other thing we need to talk about is the ending. And I think this might be one of the best anime endings I've seen in a while. That how should I explain this? This is like the beginning of answering all questions that we've ever had about Beastmen.
Yep. It's the, oh yeah, we still have a plot, guys, don't worry moment of the first season. And I'm wondering if the outpouring of this comes in this episode or this upcoming. We're going to see them both today anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, you finally got to the point of where Viral's like, I need some questions because I've been lied to. And it's starting to irritate me how much I've been lied to. It's like, we're meant to be the superior race to them, and I've been getting the shit kicked out of me by a child of this inferior race. Are they really? he pretty much takes him to class, and I could listen to Genome read a phone book.
Same.
Oh man, I gotta. You keep talking. I've never actually looked up who the hell voices him.
I can look that up in just a second, but
Okay.
But as you're looking it up, I'll just say, Lord Genome, not Lord Genome.
Thank you.
Lord Genome, we haven't actually seen that much of him in the show, but when we do see him, he is a presence.
He's so big.
And by the way, he's voiced by Jameson Price.
Jameson Price. Who else does he have that I would? What's a big one that I would know him from? Always Abomination from the video game, I guess. Always in Dragon's Dogma too.
He's been in a couple of the Digimon series.
Oh, of course he has.
It's become a cliche.
It has been. There's so. Oh, yes. Oh, and he's Anjuman and all of that. That makes a ton of sense.
Did you already bring up in Escryad he's Martin Jigmar?
No. No. Nice. The Bell, Zorro, Halo Wars 2, the Dragon. Oh my gosh, yeah, he's got quite the little rap sheet there. Oh, and he's Dreyfus in Seven Deadly Sins. That's where I know the voice he's doing from.
Oh, and if you've seen Great Pretender on Netflix, which is amazing, he plays Inspector Anderson.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to put that on my list.
Oh wow, oh my god, Jameson Price is in like all of the Netflix shows that I've seen this year. He's Tanba in Dorohedoro. He's Giuliano Flip in BNA.
Yep.
And he plays like a bunch of characters on Japan Sinks 2020.
Yep. Seven Deadly Sins is another Netflix one.
Ooh, that one I have to check out.
Seven Deadly Sins is amazing. Oh, it's so good. They switch animations for one of their seasons where the animation kind of takes a... But other than that, it's really good. But yeah, the interesting facts that we learn about that is that Genome kind of purposely made the Beastmen inferior, kind of. Like, they need to basically die every night to regenerate their cells, otherwise they would just wither away.
That's a very interesting concept. Almost like he's making the corporeal versions of Apple products. And I say that as an Apple user.
That's awesome. My roommate's an Apple user too. He'd probably think that was great. But yeah, that's really funny. Man, if I was good at Photoshops, I'd make something good out of that. But I'm not. But yeah, and it would explain why they only attack during the day, because they have to literally go away and recharge, otherwise they'd just be done. So you're starting to see why they have the rules they have, and starting in season 2, you're going to really see why certain decisions are made a certain way. And I wish I could just talk about it now, but I can't. But yeah, and he's just, do you really want to know more? Yes. Cut to black, of course, because we can't know too much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we only got 2 more episodes left, so don't worry. All the questions you have, except for a lot, are going to get answered at the end. Because it just raised 600 more. Oh, yeah. But we're going... One thing we did a little bit different. You're going to see we did 4 episodes this time, but for my sanity, and because the next 2 are going to have a lot to talk about, we recorded these 2, we're going to watch the next 2, and then record the next 2. Just to make it a little bit easier on ourselves. For talking like we don't know what happens a little bit, so we can kind of get into it that way. But anyways, Mike, would you change anything?
Not really.
Not
We're
really?
like, as we're inching towards the second half of the series, I don't want to say this is becoming perfect, but there's not a whole lot in this episode specifically that I would change.
Okay.
I mean, I would have maybe cut the joke about Rossio getting food poison, but it was just too funny, like, to end the episode.
Yeah, for sure. That was their one reason they had to get Yoko inside of Lagann's or Gurren's cockpit was to have Rossio get food poisoning. Yeah, it's
like we said in the last episode. If it's stupid, it's a feature, not a bug.
exactly. It's an add-on. Don't worry about it. But all right, if that's what we got to get going into, then we're going to just speed on full ahead into the next two because there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about and a whole lot of action. And one of the first really, I forgot to mention a while back about the one art change episode when one of the heads left because he made the really stupid comment. One of the upcoming 2 episodes we're about to do, I have a really supposed fact that I've never got confirmed, but there was a leaker that sent out a bunch of stuff right when the show was actually airing that we'll have to see. Well, this one's true because you can actually count them. It's about the frame number and stuff like that, but we'll get into that. And you as an animation nerd, I think it'll think it's really cool. Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Captain K42. Check out all my quick thought reviews on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. Find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. Check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. Check out all our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you listen. Last but not least, don't forget to check out renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Yes. Plenty of good podcasts going on up there. Plenty of good ones coming up. Last one we were on was still, at least the last one I was on was The Boys. You got one out in between then, didn't you?
Yep. A brand new episode tuned up went live yesterday. Well, this morning. But yeah.
It's not going to help them either way. This isn't coming up for like 6 weeks.
That's true.
So, and according to this one, it went up this morning on this day it was recorded. But you can find me at Organoid0 on anything, social media, Twitter, all that stuff, pretty much anywhere except for Instagram because I don't use it because I have no need. I love you, everybody. Spin on, and we'll talk to you later.
Peace.